Hi everyone, and welcome to Tap Into Your Creativity. Today in my studio, I'm actually not in my studio, I'm in my house, and I cannot wait to introduce this incredible Mexican artist living in North Carolina. His name is Noe Katz. If you haven't heard from him or his work, you have to run and look at his artwork and be mesmerized by his incredible genius style, very unique style that he has. He is a dear friend of mine and my family, and I can't wait for you to meet him and see him. So I hope that Noe, you can join us soon here so I can bring you on. Noe's work is extremely I would say he's a re-contextualization of what it means between European modernist ideals and surrealism. So he works now in North Carolina, and so I hope that he is joining us anytime soon. I'm waiting for him to join us live. And he hasn't done this in a very long time. In fact, I think this is his very first time that he's going to join us today. And I will not wait for him to join us. I will read a little bit of his work while he tunes in, and hopefully he will join us very soon here. And but for now, I'm gonna just read a little bit. There he is. So I'm hoping that let me see. All right, so hopefully he's gonna join us right now. Give us 1 minute. Thank you for your patience. Let's go, Noe. Okay. Well, while he is accepting my invitation to join me live, I will read a little bit about him, which he's an incredible sculpturist, artist, and painting, and he does all his painting is on oil, and he will tell us more when he joins us, hopefully pretty soon. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully this will work. Let's see. He says it's waiting, so I'm sure he's gonna join us any minute. But for right now, I'm just gonna start reading where he is and what kind of artist he is. So he's a multi-disciplinary artist who works primarily in sculpture and painting. He's a Mexican Jewish artist, Noe Katz, and he continues to carry the legacies of Mexican modernism, engaging in a re-contextualization of Surrealist and European Modernist ideals. Reminiscent in terms of Diego Rivera, Pablo Picasso, Fernand and Jean-Michel Folon's work, his very personal artistic language and approach is informed by the city and modern demands of urban living. I don't know why he says he's unable to join. But hopefully, okay, guys, I am so sorry to do this, but I will be right back. So come right back. I'm going to help Noe join me. I don't know if there's a problem with him joining. So, oh, here. Okay. Let's see. Please let this work.
Yeah, ahora sí.
Oh, there we go. Ah, thank God.
Ahora sí.
You had me sweating there, Noe, for a minute.
Oh. Like we say in Yiddish, oi gewalt.
Oi gewalt. Exactly. So thank you so much, Noe, for joining us today. I was about to actually start reading, so I'm so happy I don't have to read anymore. because you had me on the spot there. I'm sweating that you weren't able to connect. So I'm so happy that that we're connecting today. You are a true maestro of your craft. So I'm so glad that you're here with all of us and that you're going to be sharing your incredible, incredible work. You know how I'm such a huge fan of your work. So please tell us your name and a little bit of your background.
My name is Noe Katz. I was born in Mexico City near a very beautiful park. The name is Parque Mexico. And I was born there because my father, Jean-Michel Katz, escaped from the Holocaust. And exactly during the war, he was in the diamond field in Belgium. And he could escape, but the Nazis killed all his family. So lost almost everything. And the ship arrived in Cuba. And he spent a few years in Cuba, which were very strange for him because he came from the snow and from a very European country and a completely another background. And he arrived in Cuba, and suddenly he started to be very, very preoccupied about the Jewish situation in Cuba. There were not so many Jews. So he started to look for another country which he could go, and he found Mexico. So this is why I was born in Mexico. And he went to that area, Parque Mexico, because all the Jews that came from Europe, many went to that area because the place is very European. And that inspired me a lot during my childhood to become like a thinker, an artist, and a person that was looking for other things, not the regular things like being a lawyer or doctor, which I admire. But in my case, I was more like a thinker. And that drove me to be an artist, to be more like to create things. And I started doing that. And when I was like 24, I got a grant from the embassy, from the Italian embassy. And they gave me like 2 years and a half in Florence, Italy. So I lived there in Florence. And that was one of my best experiences in my life because I was really, really involved in the Renaissance and in the Middle Ages, like Giotto, Cimabue, and all these painters from the Middle Ages. And I admire so much the Renaissance that, for example, not only Leonardo da Vinci, there are a lot like Frangelico, and all these painters that I saw them every day. I went to the museums, to Palazzo Pitti, Palazzo Medici, and I studied there in the Accademia of the Belle Arti in Florence. And then I came back to Mexico and I started another path in my life. And when I decide that I'm going to be like more on my own, because in art, you have to have that decision that you are going to be by your own. And that's the most dangerous thing.
You mean by your own when you're not a part of an academy or a part of a movement?
Exactly. That you are by your own, that you don't depend on nothing, not even a gallery or nothing. You know, you are by your own, creating your own ideas, your own things. And I decided that afterwards, and that's a little bit scary when you are in front of the society.
Of yourself, really. It's looking at yourself. I have actually something similar, not the same story as you, but I found my love of art in Florence too. I lived there for 6 months and I studied under a church with a maestro there. And that's where my love of art started 30 years ago. And I think that living and breathing and being able to be surrounded by this incredible artwork every single day, I think it just, you know, takes you to a whole different level in your art and in your soul, correct?
Yeah, and also you start to understand the magnificence of these people, that they were genius. And they had, you know, it's incredible the level of sensitivity and creativity they arrived in their lives, and they had no electricity. They were very humble people, very nice. They were not even calling themselves artists. They were working for the king or the pope, and they were genius.
They were genius. I agree with that.
And that's very admirable for this time.
So let's go back for a little bit. Before you were in Florence, did you go to school in Mexico for art? Did you know at a young age that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah. I studied a few years biology in the university. I studied biology 2 years. I liked it. I liked biology. And afterwards, I started to study graphic design in a school of the La Academia from Mexico for graphic design. And I studied like 3 years that. And there in that academia, there were classes of painting and a lot of things like glass, silver. And I started to be more involved into creative and artistic things. And then I went to Florence, and then I came back, and I started to study other things. And also I was very interested in music, studying like classical guitar and other. I think in my life I had a lot of approaches to different type of arts. Like in my house, my mother played piano, for example. And my father was, designing with diamonds and this, and I saw that all my life. In my experience, start to be more into developing something of that, of that part of my life was very, very creative when I was young, when I was a child.
So, yeah, I think. I wonder what happens inside your mind in order to create what you create, because it's like you said it in your bio, you're in the middle of being a surrealist and a connection with modern art. And so I'm wondering, how your dreams, if you dream it, and then you draw it.
Yeah, I choose to, I was part of my creative history was a little bit more abstract. But I decided to go away from abstraction because I was repeating the same idea all the time. So I started, to try to play more with some figures. And for example, this painting you are watching I paint this painting 22 years ago.
I'm going to take the comments off and then I'll turn them back on at the end for people if you have any questions so we can actually admire your work. Go ahead, Noe.
So I start to understand that if I want to communicate, it has to be a little bit more of ironic, my ironic world also. You can see here, for example, this person. I painted this like 22 years ago, but still I like it, the quality of the oil, you see. I like this kind of sfumato. In Italian, you see the face, you see the sfumato here, the quality of the face. And I like that kind of quality in my work. And that communicates me, gives me more
information?
Tranquility that I'm painting,
That's interesting. Yeah. So the stories, where are the stories? Tell us a little bit about the story behind this painting.
yeah, for example, this small story from this guy just lying in the floor and watching this guy, you know, the businessman there in this little house. Retírate un poco. In this little house.
Yeah.
This is a story. It's a small story of the painting, you know. And this guy embracing the house, the little house, you know. And you know, I don't really explain or you know, I do some sketches before I start to paint, but I don't really understand what I'm doing. I don't want to make a story. I don't want to make a story of my work. It's just the energy when I'm drawing or, you know, keeping, you know, like, for example, if I start to do something and I like the drawing, I connect to the drawing, I start to paint it. That's all. But I'm not really trying to say a story, because that's not my perception of art. If you start to tell stories, you know, you get trapped in the mystery of the painting goes away.
Right, exactly. And so for just tell us, for the viewers, once you decided to make the leap of faith and go on your own and start painting as a professional artist, how do you then start to become known? How do you get your work out there? How do you work with galleries? How is that process? How do you start it? How did you start that process?
You know, I start mostly with projects. Let me show you a project I did for Japan, for the museum in Japan. You know, I didn't approach instantly to galleries or to agents or dealers of art. You know, I don't know. I had good luck. You know, approaching for projects, because I understood more the idea of the Mexican muralists, like Diego Rivera or Orozco or Siqueiros. You know, they approach instantly in their lives for projects. Why? Because in projects, you are in the street and thousands or millions of people are watching every day. So I had good luck that they connect me into projects like different architects. And for example, this project, you see the faces. Come.
Mm-hmm.
You see these two faces?
Yes.
Each face is 1 ton, and they are the kissing doors, and they are the entrance for the Tokoro Museum in Japan.
Wow.
And the museum is in between Osaka and Hiroshima. And the museum is this. So you stand up here, and the doors, this is the museum.
Wow.
You see here, and they slide on the floor. They slide on the floor, and you can move each face with 1 finger. The Japanese, they make an incredible machinery here to just move, because they didn't want it to put like an electronical movement, because it's dangerous with 1
well,
ton.
It's I can't believe they're 1 ton each.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you do that work there, or was that transported?
No, I transported by airplane. They pay everything, and they receive it, and they manage to put it together. And the museum is there. It's in between Osaka and Hiroshima, in a place named Omishima. And
Wow.
a little island, very nice, and they like small museums in that area. It's not, because, you know, this is not a project for Tokyo, for example, but people from Tokyo
to visit.
And this museum is more for 3-dimensional sculptures, like three-dimensional things. And they choose me because they understood that they didn't like to put the regular Japanese door. They are masters in fabricating doors, but they choose me. They saw my work in New York, and Hiroshi liked me, and he knew that I was going to be professional, and I did. And then we worked together, and with Mr. Tokoro, that he passed away like 2 years ago, he put all the money, and he did the museum in the memory of his wife. He loved his wife. That's a very romantic museum, because when I met them in Japan, in Tokyo, I really, really liked them. They were so nice people, so powerful. They wanted to do this, to inherit this idea of art to the town of Omishima. And people come to see it. No? That's a good small museum.
So is that your own book? Can you show us the front of the book? And where can we find that book?
You can find the book in Amazon, on Amazon.
That's fantastic. So that, what we're seeing is the picture behind you.
Actually.
So it actually works beautifully. So can we talk more about more works in that book that you can show us? Because I know that, by the way, I wanted to ask you, I know that, you know, we're all working from home, and COVID has been a big part of, you know, a problem or an adjustment to all of us. So you are now in your home, so you're showing us work that's in your home. But do you, now you're not in Mexico, you're in North Carolina. Do you have a studio both in Mexico and here in North Carolina?
Yes, yes. Well, we came here, my wife, Yocheve, which has been helping me a lot all the time. You know, she's also into art. She designs, and all my family are creative. I have my son, Gilad. He lives in Brooklyn, and he's very creative. He's studying in Pratt Institute, industrial design, and he paints very nice. And also Ariel lives here with us. He's also very, very creative. He designs, and he's more into 3D. He's very interested in 3D. And like my wife, all are interested in 3D. And Ariel also is very, very good in sculpting.
I wonder where they got it from.
Yeah, from me and then my wife.
I know, I'm kidding.
And Naomi studying in Australia, near Sydney, in a city, in a small city. The name is Ululong.
Okay.
Ululong, something like that. And she studied also, you know, things creative, like also more into environmental design. And
okay.
She's organic and very progressive, very intelligent lady. And here I have a studio, which is like 15 minutes away from my house. But now I'm more in my house. I don't know, since this pandemic started, I came exactly, I was traveling because I gave a painting, I donate a painting for the Jerusalem, the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. So they invite me, and we had a very nice cocktail party for the opening of my painting, which it was fantastic to visit Israel. And I went, afterwards, I went to New York, and then I came to Greensboro, and then to Mexico City, and I was in Mexico City, and suddenly they start to talk about, in January, they start to talk that something is very strong going to happen, and no one put attention. And suddenly I decide I want to buy my ticket to go back home, to come here to Greensboro. And that was exactly one of the weeks that Donald Trump closed the borders. So If I did,
so you were lucky that you were able to come back home.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Mexico City, I have also a very nice studio. Mexico, as you know, is a very, very important point of art in the world. It's
Very much so.
very important. There are a lot of artists, very, very good artists, very incredible artists, and we have a lot of a good relation with the United States all the time. The artists, they want to come here and to show their work. And I think now they are going to come more to the United States because I don't know what's going to happen. That's a very good question. What's going to happen in the art world? It's going to be very difficult to understand the new way of showing your art. I want to show you the other project.
Yes, please.
You see this. Let me show you the real painting of this project. Come.
Okay.
Come, Joche. I want to thank my beautiful wife. She's a cameraman.
Yeah.
Camerawoman.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for helping us out today.
Okay.
Sandra, you see this material? If you you see this is aluminum. So you see it's incredible.
So it's pressed aluminum?
Aluminum, yeah.
Wow.
The name is repoussé. Repoussé, you make the aluminum with relief. You know, you see all the relief. And so you can understand more the project I did for the Fiesta Americana Hotel.
Okay.
You see here, for example, if you see here.
Yes.
You see the building?
Yes.
You see the mural?
And then, it's a mural. It's not I see. And that's from aluminum, pressed aluminum?
Yeah, it's aluminum with repoussé. With you see these windows are the restaurant of the hotel.
Wow.
So this is big. This arm is taller than me. It's bigger than me.
So did you make that in your studio in Mexico? You have
also,
space?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like a huge puzzle. You know, you work like a puzzle. You see, for example, you look at, for example, the leaves and the faces. All are one piece. So you have to put together thousands and thousands of pieces. Thousands and thousands of pieces.
Wow. So each one you make it separate and then you put it together on the wall?
Yeah. That's the technique. That's the technique. It's very nice, but you need a lot of help. And the idea is that it's already there like more than 20 years. It's hung, you know, and they are with all the earthquakes and all the weather from Mexico, and it's still there, perfect.
Incredible. And incredible that it could sustain, you know, pollution. It could sustain, you know, anything, and it's still, you know.
You know why? Because I choose aluminum. I choose aluminum. No quieres pasar esto? I choose aluminum is the best material for this, for the outside.
So then you make, a sculpture.
This is a sculpture made out of silver. It's a bath. It's a bath of silver. So,
okay. So it's not silver leaf. It's actually dipped in silver.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's fascinating. I think that they should use that for their awards here, for the music awards.
Yeah, you see the violin and the it's I think they should.
Yeah, can you turn it a little bit so we can see it? Because it's a three-dimensional. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Wow. Is it a heavy sculpture?
No, you can.
No.
Yeah, a little bit like, in pounds, like 7 kilos.
14.
So like 14 pounds. Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's keep going and move to the other beautiful artwork that you have set up for us.
This is another work that I'm going to show you. The thing is,
and then this isn't.
I have to explain to your audience that I was selected by the Mexican government to design the book for the 6th grade of Spanish for the Mexican children, you know, in Mexico. They are going to print 3 million books from this. So you can
Incredible.
See, yeah, so you can see this is the whole explanation. How this, I was dreaming how I'm going to do this, you know, what's the real history and the real idea of Spanish, you know, for Mexico. And Spanish was created by the Mexican conquistadors, you know. See, they start with Christopher Columbus, of course. And as you can see here, this big face, you see the face?
Yeah, which is your your staple face.
Exactly. It's full of letters, you know. And you know, the interesting thing of all this that I found out is that the letter N, and
yes.
they didn't exist in the Spanish world. They were invented in the mixture between the Indians of Mexico and the Spanish. I mean, the Aztecs, the Nahuas, and the Indians, they mixed and they put their own words to mix with the Spanish that the Spanish brought to Mexico. So this is the idea that I dreamt, is that this face is blowing all the words. And
the ABC pretty much.
No, and the angels,
and whatever, yeah,
word, and the angels, the Aztec angels with the penacho, you know, this is called Spanish penacho.
Yes,
they are
it's the typical hat from the Aztecs.
Yes, the letters.
Yes,
the typical hat, and this it comes here with a serpent. The serpent. The meaning of the serpent for the Aztecs when the Spanish came was Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl, which is this one also. He
was the god.
He was the god that told the Aztecs that someone is going to come with a horse, with a horse, and they are going to be one person, only one person. The horse and the person with barba,
beard. Yeah.
With a beard is one person, and this is the person. This is Hernán Cortés with the 3 ships that brought. And this is, you know, also the Christianism that came, you know, the Inquisition, and by the way, there were a lot of Jews coming with Christopher Columbus and also with Hernán Cortés, because they were escaping from the Inquisition in Spain
in 1492.
Yeah, in 1492. So you can see this is the encounter with the Mayas, with the Aztecs, and it's a whole and the relation for both worlds from that was very, very different. At the same time, both brought death. You understand?
Correct. Yes.
This is why it's very the unification of the painting, and this is going to be the cover for the book, for the Spanish book.
Yeah, just the cover alone for the kids, they're going to learn so much just by seeing it. I mean, it has the whole story of Mexico already right there, you know?
Yeah, and you see,
it's incredible.
I put also my own ironic thing, like this angel, she's filming, you see, she's filming the whole story.
Yes, I can see that. Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
My wife. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's always
but you know, how did they? Did you win a contest in order to be printed in 3 million copies, or how did that work?
No, they choose me. They choose me because they like my work and they knew that I was going to do something like figurative. They choose other people also for other books, which, friends of mine, they are more abstract, much more abstract, but they knew that I was going to do something more realistic, more figurative for the children, so they choose me to do that book. But,
incredible.
yeah,
and I know that you have a phenomenal sculpture right there that
right here.
Well.
Oh, you switched it from yesterday.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
This is the sculpture of fortune. Why? Because in the Judeo-Christian world, the fish, in the Judeo-Christian world, the fish is fortune, is progress, is like, reproduction. It means a lot of things, and this is why I put all these guys from Wall Street, the Wall Street guys, drawing like a pyramid. I did this like 15 years ago, and we brought it here to Greensboro. It's a little bit heavy. This is a little bit.
I don't know what is the material that you use on that.
I'm using assembled wood.
That's thick.
And it's for the interior, but I can do it in casting in iron, and I can do it in other materials. But I choose to do this in assembled wood, and I paint it with oil. It's for the, I cover the assembled wood with linen, linen, and I prepare it with gesso, and then I paint it. It's like a canvas made with sculpture. You can see, for example, this sculpture.
Oh, wait, Noe. We want to see, I want to see that one. Your swimmers, because I love that one.
These are the swimmers, which I love to swim. As the close-up. I love to swim. So these are I paint this painting like 20 years ago.
And it's all oil on either panel or canvas, correct?
Yeah, this is oil on linen.
On linen, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just, the water, the way that you create the water, like you said, it has so much movement. And I think it's because you create this 3D on a 2D surface. And so it is magnificent to be able to do that. It really, truly is. It takes a lot of talent to be able to find that quality of a 3D on a 2D surface.
Look, for example, I'm going to show you to your audience my portrait, so you can see my humor. And more.
Oh my God! So that's really what's happening inside your head, isn't it?
Well, sometimes I live like this.
I can see that now. Yes. After getting to know you more, I understand it's coming, going. There's no direction. There's no right or wrong. It's just like, woo, okay.
Yeah. But, the thing is that, in Italian, we say, in Italian, you say, when you are scared of something, you say the word paura. Paura is that you have paura, you are scared, And this is what's going on now in the world. There is a lot of paura, a lot of scare. We are scared of the pandemia. We are scared of what's going on, of the day-by-day life. But, but we have to be patient, and we can't do nothing with these things. They are very powerful. They are very, very powerful. And I work with miedo, how you say,
with fear.
With fear, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, But I remember I went to the Holocaust museum. Not only the museum, I went to Poland because, you know, since my family got killed in the Holocaust, I had to go. And I remember one day in Czechoslovakia, a Jewish guide told us that they discovered just a few years ago a bunch of paintings, small papers, drawings from children. They hide their work under the earth in a room.
Wow.
And they discover all these like 50 drawings, incredible drawings from children, and you see the fear they were in. Incredible. And that moved me so much, you know, that, you know, I don't like to work on fear, really.
Did your father speak? How old was he when he escaped the war?
Yeah, he was 35 years old.
Oh, so he really lived through it. And does your work have any influence by that at all?
No.
No.
Not because I don't like to paint a Holocaust. I don't like to do that. I don't want to. I'm involved enough in my life, you know, and I want my life to be more with colors and with I don't want to paint the horror of these idiots, of these horrible people. Like
animals. Yeah. So let's focus now on your sculpture that we were going to talk about, that you have right there by your feet.
Yeah, this is like a sculpture made out of assembled wood, you see, and I'm going to paint it in some parts of the sculpture. You can see, for example, the different you see, and you know, the idea is that this is with gesso. It's filled out all with gesso, sanded gesso, and is completely prepared to be painted and to be, how you say, when you intervene a piece.
Yeah, that's it. You're going to intervene it with oils, and probably you'll end it up with a varnish or something to protect it.
Exactly, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you now one of these pieces already finished.
Okay. Yeah. Puriojevet. She's going everywhere. He's taking us. See? That's why his portrait is like that we talked about, because he's taking us all over the house. And so we're following him. It's so exciting. So thank you for keeping up with us here.
Sure. Sandra, can you see this?
Yes. Oh, I didn't see that.
You see, I intervened this with different faces and all this, and then there is a story here which I can't really tell you the real story, because the real story, as I told you, I don't paint stories. I paint things that I feel in the moment.
Or his subconscious.
And you see, for example, here, I move the sculpture. Are you watching?
Yes.
And you see here, there is another story in this.
Wow. So you really want the viewer to tell you what they're seeing. So you're really engaging us, and you probably want to hear what we have to say about it versus, you know, I see a lot of urban life in your work. I think that there's a lot of chaos, organized chaos. But I do understand the floating theme of it in your unconsciousness, in how you approach your painting. I think it has, like I said, it has this surrealism underneath through it all, and but I think it ties it all together by utilizing also every single part of art, because you are doing a 3D, you're doing a 2D, you're drawing. I know that you have a small drawing somewhere where you can show us where your idea starts as a small sketch or drawing, and then you go in a larger scale.
Yeah,
So, but I do believe that, by you not saying the story, it gives the viewer, so much freedom to interpret it the way they want to and say their own story of what they're seeing.
exactly. And the thing is that I want to integrate my feelings, my story, and my quality, my perfectionism in the oil. I always paint on oil. I love oil painting and pastel also, oil pastel and regular pastel. And the thing is that I integrate and I put like a balance between the orientation of the idea with the person that is watching and what I'm doing, because, as you can see here, there is a human being here, like a person that trapped in a little hole in the house, and this woman with stairs, and these faces, and this guy in the ocean, and then you go back and you see completely another story. You see the tree, and I'm surrounded by all these objects every day. I'm surrounded by trees and by houses, by buildings, and my memory also is there. So the thing is that I'm creating a world that I'm trying to create a world that is there and is part of my life. That's all. I'm committed.
I think the way you're approaching it is a very organic
Yeah,
way, and you're just letting it flow from yourself. So we all try to get there as artists. We all try to get into our unconsciousness and start to paint with no judgment, because we are our worst judges ever, right? We are so hard on ourselves, and it's so hard sometimes to leave that noise behind. I think that you have mastered that. I think that you are a true maestro in your own making, because you understand yourself so well, and by working every day and being true to all the facts that you have, we see the masterwork that you have created.
so let me show you a painting.
We're going to go
I
to
create
where there's
this
more
painting
lights.
Okay,
for,
perfect.
for the
Here
Jewish.
we go again on the tour.
North Carolina.
I create this painting for the Jewish holiday, the most holy of the Jewish holidays is Yom Kippur.
Yes.
So you can see here, for example, all
Let me turn off the comments again, and I will turn them on so we can see that. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yes, I can see it perfectly. Yeah.
And I choose to do this in these colors. In this color, in this only like monochromatic color.
Yeah.
You see, for example, the rabbi is blowing the shofar.
Yes.
And the snake in Judaism is the name is Nahash. Is the snake. It can be the wisdom, and it can be the opposite. Both.
It depends. Yeah, it depends how you view it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it has a lot of symbolism in the story of the Judaism and the Torah.
This reminds me a little bit of Chagall. I know it's not, but the colors and the symbolism and the way that you have the little house on top, and how things are floating. It's like the modern world of what a Chagall maybe would paint now. I think it's a big compliment, hopefully, to you.
Yeah. Chagall he was a genius, a master, completely a genius.
Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Good, because it was meant as a compliment.
Yeah. No, I admire him a lot. Like I admire a lot Leger.
Yes.
Fernand Leger.
Fernand Leger, and you can tell.
Richard Linder, Chagall. I admire a lot.
Diego Rivera. Yeah, I think that you have a lot of,
even Picasso. I admire Picasso also. He painted the last 25 years he repeats himself so much, Picasso, but he was a genius. He could do whatever he wants. And but let me show you.
I'm going to turn back on the questions in case people have questions, because we only have like 9 more minutes left. So in case you have any questions for Noe, this will be a great time to do that. But go ahead, Noe. Show us what you were thinking you were going to show us.
Yeah, this is a very interesting painting I did exactly when the Bush attacked Iraq. You remember that day that he decided to attack Saddam Hussein?
Yes.
This was a long time ago. How many years? I don't remember.
Like 20? I think it was in like 92, something, or something like that. 98?
So my father called me and I would turn on the television, and the first image I saw was a guy just standing and lying in stones. And I decided to paint this person with no face. You see?
1990.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tania.
Like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's incredible. I remember that image so well, so now I understand that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to paint like bombs and destruction and this, but I put this like a person with no face because, you know, wars make societies and people they erase the face, you know. That's the real energy of a war. They kill so many and they erase the face of the human being, of love, of a lot of good things we have been creating. It comes like a pandemic like this and they start to kill people. And look how many people died already in the world, almost 1 million. And the people that are still going to die with this pandemic.
Yeah, so, it's really incredible, and
let me show you this. This is a Maya story that the world was created by a beard man, and the 3 turtles are in the top of the beard man. You see the beard man?
Yeah.
You see the turtles?
Oh my God, look at the turtles.
Yeah, the turtles.
Okay, well, Noe, I'm going to, right now, we're going to have to say goodbye in like 2 minutes. So, do you have the red sculpture anywhere? The one that you sent me a picture of it?
Which one?
No, you don't have it with you. Okay. Well, I want everyone to know that you can find Noe's work on his website, but also
on Artsy.
On Artsy, and you can purchase his book on Amazon, which I'm going to for sure name that for all of you. So you have this incredible coffee table book with all of your work. It must be so gratifying to have this book, and it's like a history of yourself. So I can't even imagine, what that feels like.
You, Sandra, it's the history of myself with my family.
Yeah. Yes. So somebody's asking me, what is your future project?
My future projects are, I had like the director of the Museum of New Orleans, the Modern Art Museum in New Orleans. We were talking already about doing a show in New Orleans, but the pandemic is now and they don't want to talk anymore. We will, at the end of the tunnel, we will. But also I had something in a gallery in New York, and also something in San Diego.
Art Miami.
Also Art Miami, to the art fair in Miami. But everything is canceled. Everything is canceled. So,
everything is changing, everything is fluid, so we don't know really what's going on, but like you said, we're adapting and we're putting our best foot forward and just being positive and still creating. And I admire you, Noe, so much. I'm probably your biggest fan in this world. I can't thank you enough for opening your doors to all of us today, your beautiful home. Yocheved, thank you so much for your time and for helping us do this incredible interview. You will be part of the collection of August. And Noe, there you are. Thank you, Yocheved. Thank you so much. And I cannot believe that I have to sell for the August collection the cover of 3 million books that are going to be made in Mexico. And, I am proud to be your friend. You are now a mentor to me. And I love that you're part of this project. And thank you for being part of the army of artists that I call.
Thank you, Sandra, for inviting me. And let me tell you that without art, we are completely dead and depressed. And art is the symbol and the spirit of the good feeling for everything, for love, for creation of this planet. So we have to become more artistic. Even if you are a doctor or whatever, we have to think more about creation, about art, about love, what you do. And that's going to change the world. Don't you think
you're
so?
going to make me cry now. That's so nice. And I agree 100% with you. And you, like I said before, you're an incredible person. You're an incredible, I admire your work. And I'm proud to call you my friend now. And thank you for being part of this project. And together we're stronger for sure. And we're going to help so many people. And thank you. And I agree. Keep on doing art. We're going to learn so much in 5-10 years from now, looking back to see all the creations that were made now. And I can't wait to see that.
Thank you so much. And I hope to meet you one day in your city.
Yes, I can't wait for you to come and we can paint together. And stay tuned because Noe and I might be working on something really cool. So, so stay tuned.
How I told you is when you work with another artist.
A limón.
A limón.
A limón.
A limón.
Muchísimas gracias, Noe, por una gran entrevista hoy. De verdad te agradezco muchísimo. Gracias a todos los que están viendo hoy, nuestra audiencia hispana. Y thank you, everyone. And I will see you real soon on next Wednesday at noon. So thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye, Noe.
Bye.